Hello, guys. Welcome to today's show. Today is an exciting day. We are going to talk about stock photography, and it's amazing because during quarantine, everybody is at home, but we all have files, folders, huge folders that we are yet to we are yet to go through. We have images that we shot in the past. We've done nothing about it. So this is the moment that we are going to think about how best we can get some money, some passive income. As you know, this place is all about improving ourselves. And welcome to Open Shutter Live. Open Shutter Live, we have it every Wednesday, 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time, and 12:30 a.m. GMT. So
we're global. We're global.
Yeah.
And if you're on Mars, it's next year.
We are glad to have you guys here. And let me just bring in our facilitators real quick, experienced guys on here. Fantastic guys, as you can see.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever told me.
Photos were fantastic.
Yeah, so I'll just give them a chance for everybody to introduce themselves. And then I'm going to see how pinging people in. Now I'm using the Clubhouse terminologies over here. So Evans, take it away.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Open Shutter Live. My name is Evans. I'm based in Brampton, Ontario. And I am a weddings and events photographer mainly, but shoot everything on the side. So, yep, we're gonna have a fun time, and I'm learning today. So, I have dabbled a little bit into stock photography, but today's a learning section for me as well. So, we're gonna learn together.
Awesome. Nice, good stuff. Thanks everyone for jumping on again. Another Wednesday. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good show just to learn how to use stock to your advantage. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Paul, based in Toronto. Run a photography meetup group called Yeghouchian. Visit us at yeghouchian.com. We do lots of virtual stuff during this whole lockdown thing, so check us out for all kinds of good stuff. And my YouTube channel basically documents the meetup group and my photography journey and all kinds of fun stuff. So go check it out. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you go check out these other guys' channels because we do all kinds of different but cool stuff. And yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I'm excited because people want to make money at the end of the day.
Yes, we do. And on that note, my name's Bryan, and you can find my Instagram handle just below my face at mrbryanjames.com. And also you can find me on YouTube, Bryan James Photography. And I shoot mainly street and portrait photography, and I do sell some of my images in stock photography, although I am not it's not my main source of income by any means, but it's something that I think we can all learn about and get in more to. So with that being said, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bryan McGowan. I am Brampton, Ontario-based photographer and YouTuber, and I've kind of moved away from the stock world, but I used to do a lot more stock stuff. So let's talk about it. That's it.
Let's talk.
Well. This is going to be interesting. One thing that I want is that all those in the audience, all those listening to us, you can also introduce yourself in the chat session, and we're going to read it out. We'll let everybody know who you are, what you do. It's going to be fun. It's interactive. We are just here to facilitate. You guys are just there to give us the amazing stuff that you have in mind. Right now, we have a lot of people. Just keep sharing the page. Let people come in. Let's have a nice discussion. Though we're not going to take a lot of time. I know these guys up here have the experience. Today is a learning day for me. I'm so excited about it because I have never put an image on a stock site before. Crazy. So I want to know how to do it, how to get some money rolling. Remember, we are in quarantine, so we all want to have some cash in. And this is a great one. Yeah. So I'm just going to start roundtable real quick. If anyone has experiences, which of our people up here are on the stock image market, making some money. So just want to know some few things before we dive into the questions. But so let's see. Paul.
Hey Gilbert. Hey Gilbert, where are you from? Hey John from New York City. That's cool. Yeah, like stock photography. I mean, I have sold stuff It's not a lot of money, but I can get into why I use stock, and it's not for the money. It's purely for the education. But maybe just like backtrack to like what is stock photography. When we say stock photography, what exactly is that? It's essentially when you upload a photo to a website and you basically license that photo to that site for that site to sell it to someone else, and then you get some sort of like royalty. And these royalties differ from like site to site. There's a lot of sites out there, big ones like Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, Getty Images. I mean, there's a lot more than that though. But those are like the big ones out there. There's also Pixabay, right, Evans?
Yeah, Pixabay, and the other one is Pexels. They are not really stock photography per se. Basically, those are like free alternatives. So you submit your images, but you don't get
any royalty
for it. But they're still good experiences because of some of the other stuff that we'll talk about. Because most of the time, like I said, I don't think I've made more than $5 off stock images because I don't really put too much effort into putting my images on stock. But the process of getting your images uploaded to some of these sites really can help you grow your photography skills, right? Outside of the potential of making money if you are serious into it.
100%. I know Brian sold some stuff off Getty too, which is cool.
Yeah,
Getty Images. That is.
I was doing the Getty contributions in like 2014.
Right.
Never made a ton of money at it, but you do have to have a high volume of photos there to make any money. I do have a friend who probably has over 4,000 images available through Getty. But just because of the dilution in the stock photography market, they're really only making probably $300 or $400 a month.
It's so saturated, yeah.
And that's with a library of over 4,000 images available, maybe even close to 5,000 now.
Right, but I think that making $400 a month off stock, even if it's 200, I think it's still something, right? Because those images at the end of the day could be sitting on your hard drive collecting dust.
Oh, well, for
digital dust, right?
Yeah.
So I still feel like if you have the time and you have the patience to go through the process, it is still worth putting out stuff on these sites,
Passive income.
So let me ask you a question, guys.
I would say, Evans, you mentioned Pexels, and I was gonna say, although although it is a free site, people can download anything off of Pexels for free. That's actually where I've made the most of my money on stock photography, and that's only because when people download your images, they can donate to you. So of course they can take the image for free, but they can donate to you some amount of money if they feel like it's valuable. And I was just trying to look through my stats now, but I want to say I've made maybe $50 or something. I know at one point someone downloaded one of my photos and gave me $25. So I thought that was great because on other sites that I feel like they took me more work and more effort, I make 35 cents on a photograph. So for that reason, I thought Pexels was cool, but also it gave me a chance to kind of see what people like Paul mentioned, kind of do it for the kind of the feedback,
the education.
And like one of my photos was downloaded, and it was a photo of me with my head like this, like it's unrecognizable, but it was downloaded 1,500 times.
Wow,
people liked it.
And so my next photo that was downloaded a ton was like a picture I took with my camera phone of the airport, just because I thought the airport was empty, and I was just kind of like, hey, look, the airport's empty. So I don't know if people are using that photo for the news or
they're using it for like a blog post. They're using it for like a blog post or something, man.
Yeah.
Totally. But it is saturated.
So,
that's the thing.
Guys, let me ask you a quick question for you guys who have experience on there. What do consumers use stock photography for? Why do you think people buy stock photography?
To supplement their work.
Yeah, I can go from the Getty standpoint, and from the friend of mine who does a lot of sales through Getty. National Geographic has used some books for covers or for inside the book. even various articles that need to attach an image, that they get a small amount of money from that as well. So there's just so many things that people need an image for, and if they can find something really easily, then they'll just find it, and if there's a small price, there's a small price.
So you think
Correct.
it's a quicker way for people to get their images without really going through the stress of a whole production?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. And a lot of people will also like regular people, small business owners trying to put up a small website, right? They don't have the budget for a full production photo shoot. They will go through a site like Pexels or stuff like that, try to find out images that will suit their kind of website, right? So you guys know sometimes I do these live shoots where I take random products and I do product shoots at home. I upload some of those out there. You never know. Some people may be looking into going to market and selling some of these products. They may not have the opportunity to be able to do their own product shoots, but they can buy some of these images that have similar products to what you are shooting, and use them for their websites or their e-commerce pages.
Yeah, exactly, John. You're a packaging branding designer, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of food ingredients.
It's interesting because I think one point that people don't look at is the fact that these images are images you can get all over the world.
Yeah.
Just on one side. So it saves a ton of money, like going to other countries, visa, customs, production, all of these stuff. And I feel we don't use it enough. We don't use it enough to some extent. And one of the ways that I have seen in recent years being used is the photojournalism side.
Yeah.
Like when there are issues going on, I see a lot of channels like CNN, BBC, the rest picking up quickly from like Getty Images or any of these stock sites. Mm-hmm. So it's like a run and gun, people shooting and then uploading as quickly as possible, all these locations. But then,
think about COVID, right? Like think about empty airports and empty streets and like where do they get all this stuff from so quickly sometimes? Like pull it off stock. Right, because they need something to supplement the story.
My biggest stock sale was actually to. Go ahead, Brian. I was just going to say my biggest stock sale was actually to a Russian guy who was going to sell prints, and he just wanted to license one of my images, and that was probably my single biggest Getty sale ever. Was just to that guy. That was like over $200 from Getty just for one image, for one license.
Wow.
Now I do better from ad agencies contact me directly through Flickr. But
Flickr's another one, yeah.
Flickr's a good one. It's not a stock photography site, but it's Google searchable, so people can find you that way.
You can rank.
Yeah.
You can rank.
So let's ask real quick before Evans comes in. What are some of the various stock image sites that you guys, because there are a ton of it. But I still feel people know only the premium ones. Mm-hmm. And we are going to talk about the effect of using the premium ones and using the other ones as well. But for now, like what are some of the ones that we use or the ones that are known?
So there's obviously there's Getty, Shutterstock, Adobe, 500px I think still does stock. Though I haven't used theirs in a long time.
iStockphoto.com.
Yeah, iStock.
What else do I use?
Someone Google stock photography sites.
There's
also do have.
Yeah, someone can just Google it. We'll put it on.
There's a ton of them out there, and they all pay varying rates. Like 500px advertised itself as a premium one for photographers, so photographers would make more money. There are some that will only pay you pennies. John's in the comments with a few as well. He uses stock photography regularly.
Stocksy, just going to say Stocksy.
Unsplash, yeah.
What I ended up doing was I downloaded this. I don't know if you would call it a program or what, but if you've never done stock photography, and first I'll tell you why I don't do it more often. But one of the issues I found is not only do you have to describe your photograph, and if it's gonna be used for like, potentially a newspaper or some kind of article or something, you need to know, like, you need to have in the date that it was taken, where it's taken, who's in the image. There's all this information, and it has to be put in a certain way for publication. And I always seem to mess that up. So when I finally got it down to a science, I downloaded this program where I could kind of put all that information in and shoot it out to like as many as 15 different websites and upload it for me automatically. And since we've been on the air, I've been looking for this program. And I can't figure out what I did with it. But it didn't always work.
And if you're going to have people in your images, you do need model releases from them as well.
Yeah.
You do need model releases.
I just got so frustrated because I felt like I was spending, I swear, like 10 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes per image. And then I submitted it, and then I do enough. So let's say I did 5 images because I just wasn't able to bulk load these images with proper descriptions. And then I would get an email back the following day, and 4 of them were denied or they weren't used. Or, if you've seen my photography, I don't really shoot stock images. My stuff's processed, it's edited, and a lot of stock photography, they don't want edits. They'll even tell you, or the resolution not high enough, which I think funny sometimes. I've uploaded 20 megapixel photos. They'll say the resolution's not high enough, or it's too dark, and a lot of my photos are dark. And so for that reason, for now anyways, I've just kind of given up on it. But I think I kind of feel like, if you just upload your library and you can go from there. But I feel like people that are really successful at stock photography are actually shooting for that reason.
Shooting for it.
Yeah, definitely. And it doesn't have to be, it could be a tripod. You could shoot a tripod, take 40 images of this and then use the same description and upload it. I think you'd be surprised. I think you would do better than if you just take your images that you normally shoot for Instagram or for your portfolio and just upload those.
Oh, you definitely have to shoot for it. Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
I think Bryan, you've made a very important point, which is the little things, because people wouldn't want to do a whole setup for little stuff. So, taking a picture of a tripod, taking a picture of a can, or taking a picture of just maybe a speaker or like a mouse or
the friend of mine that does it, she'll do pictures of dice,
like to just
cards, things like that. Yeah.
Pay some few dollars or some few cents and then get it on. But then John is mentioning one place, Tunnel, which is very interesting because none of you guys mentioned Tunnel. Tunnel, I have a little bit of understanding on it. It's like a Black-owned place where you can find a lot of Black or people of color images from. It's exciting. I think the first time I got into contact with them was in December 2019 when they came to Ghana as part of the Year of Return. So it's interesting that John brought it up because I didn't know a lot of people knew about that. I'll come to a very important point that I would like us to discuss because, we are photographers. At the end of the day, there is one key thing that we always want to know, which is which ones give the best earnings in your guys' experience? Like,
so
we don't want to sell for cheap. So
for me, Flickr has brought me the most money, just because I'm licensing directly to ad agencies instead of through a service. And then number 2 would be Getty. But direct to ad agencies through Flickr has been the most for sure.
And why is that?
Because you're not paying a middleman. So when you go through Getty or Shutterstock or one of those guys, those companies are taking a cut. Whereas if I'm negotiating a license with an ad agency, I'm discussing it directly with them. We're doing a licensing contract directly with the agency. There's nobody in the middle taking a cut.
So it's like a networking platform between the creators and then the users directly. Yeah. What about you, Bryan? How does it go?
For me, I haven't made much money. I've tried iStock. I've tried Stocksy. I was on a few, and it was just the earnings for me were so small. But again, I don't think I really have that stock photography type photos, really. So really the only experience that I've had that's been positive, I mean, that has really made me money was Pexels, and that's like I said, it's a free site, but so I couldn't say, because I know I spent some time looking through the different ones and how much they're going to pay, and so for that reason, I think if you have a group of photos, I would say put it on 6 platforms and then see for yourself what does better. And it doesn't mean that you have to take them down either. Once they're up there, they're up there.
Yeah.
So, if one site makes me 50 cents and another site makes me 60 cents, well, I still won because I made 2 pieces of income. So,
yeah.
I don't think I'm educated enough to say which is better, because I mean, I've read their policies and I've read their payouts, but like ultimately I kind of agree with what Brian said, that you would make a lot more money if people find you, say, on Flickr, and they can reach out to you and get more images. And so it just kind of occurred to me that maybe because I've only had a few people reach out to me through Pexels. I'm not on Flickr, but now I'm thinking about it, I could trying to think of ways to put photos up there to entice people to contact me. I guess Brian, you would know better, right? So
the other nice thing about I don't put any descriptions. Google auto generates descriptions for Flickr, but the drone photos have actually done the best for me, just because there's less of them out there. And the other advantage to Flickr, to anyone who doesn't use it, is if you upload full res photos, you can download your full res photos. So it's a JPEG backup for all your work as well. Just little plug for Flickr. I'm not sponsored or anything, but a little plug.
Thank you. Flickr is going to sponsor us next week, though, I think.
That'd be
Paul,
nice.
What do you think? What's been your experience?
I upload to Shutterstock and Adobe Stock whenever I upload a stock, and I've made more money off Adobe. It's not a lot of money, but like I don't use it for the money. I use it for the education, because once you upload to stock and it's rejected, they tell you why it's rejected. So they tell you what's wrong with the photo. So for me, it's free, unbiased feedback. So people that are just starting out into photography, it's a great way to learn like what's good with the photo and what's not good, because it's free, unbiased feedback. You don't have to pay to upload. Like it's there to upload, and then you can. If it's accepted, great. If you make a couple bucks, cool. But like Brian said, like if you can get rid of the middle person and deal directly, you make a lot more money. But for me, it's like the education, because they'll just tell you. So I think it's just very hard these days to find unbiased feedback. So whenever you can, I think you should take advantage of it. And that's just one way to like learn with your craft, right? Like there's many ways to learn, but. Because what you think might be a great photo may not actually be sellable, right? Because it's like the emotion of it, right? Like you love that photo, but the person's like, nah, it's not really that great, right? It's like, what do you mean it's not that great? It's like, I love this photo. It's like, well, it's not that great. Like who's going to tell you that to your face, right? Like no one's going to do that. So that's what I mean by like.
Brian says he's going to tell you that.
Brian, I'm sure Brian's like, it's not that great.
If you ask me, then I'll give you an honest answer.
Yeah.
But then so far, is it only Shutterstock that has given you that feedback?
No, I think I've got it from Shutterstock. You can get the same sort of report with Pexels, or I think Pixabay as well, but it's not the same. Shutterstock, I know, comes with a more detailed report of why they rejected it, and actually, they actually tell you whether you over sharpened it, you over processed it, if it's noisy, grainy, whatever the reasons were. So if they rejected it for 4 reasons, they will list all 4 reasons why they rejected it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can take a look at it. I used Shutterstock a lot when I was learning to edit images, when I was at the very beginning of my stuff, when I was learning editing, because it gave me a lot of feedback. I would edit an image and it looks great to me. I will upload it there. I get a feedback and I realize, okay, this is overdone. This is that, right? But most of the time I choose which part I'm going to try to fix and which one I ignore, because it's basically your artistic choice, right? So what may look good to them technically may not actually be what really looks good in terms of how you process your image. So your artistic piece is there, but in terms of stock photography, they have their own requirements. And so if it doesn't meet their requirements, then it doesn't meet their requirements. But at the same time, it does not necessarily mean that your image is bad, right? It could be that the image is good and artistically looks good, but just does not meet the requirements for that particular stock agency.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you guys, because I'm really learning a lot. I think from here I'm just going to go through all my images and just dump them there. But there's this fear that I have that if you put an image there, what are the legal consequences? And does these websites tell you guys what you should do, what is required, what are the documents required?
They will flag it if you don't have the proper forms, like the model release, the proper release. Like their AI platform will know that.
Oh yeah,
you haven't submitted a model or proper release when there's like a recognizable person or a property or something there. Like they'll tell you. So that's one reason why it won't get accepted.
And you have to read the agreement with whoever the stock agency is. Some of them will allow you to sell privately prints of the work that you've licensed through them. Some of them want exclusive to the work that you're providing them. So you have to make sure you review all that very carefully to see what you can still do with the photo once you upload it to them. Like I know with Getty,
I believe
Getty,
some of them would allow you to
sales.
upload it anywhere else, right?
Yeah, some of them will only allow you to upload it to them. Some of them won't even let you sell a print to your neighbor if you upload it to them. Wow. So you need to check into that very carefully before you sign up with anyone. Just make sure you know what you're signing on to.
Okay, so let me reset this real quick. If you are in the audience and then you are listening to us and you have any views about it, any experience about stock images, you can always put it in the comments and then we'll bring it up and then share it to everybody who is watching. We are happy to have you guys here. We have people from all over the world, which is interesting.
Global.
You know, someone coming from Ghana is interesting because it's almost 1 a.m.
Well, so, I'd love if John's still watching because he uses a lot of stock. I'd love for him to put in the comments what he looks for when he's looking for stock images.
Yeah,
just so that we can get that other side perspective.
Yeah,
of what someone who uses stock is actually looking for.
It's a great one.
True.
Good stuff.
I don't know if John's still watching though. Hopefully, John's
just
still
a quick one, guys. So, anyone who uploads street photography into the stock sites here?
No, because you need a release.
You need releases from the models.
Photography.
You need a release.
I think you can get away with it if there's no if the people are not
recognizable. Yeah,
recognizable, right? But if you have street photography with people that can be recognized, you need a model release from those people to be able to upload it. Even if you take a picture of, let's say, the Capitol building, let's say, for example, you need on stock.
Wow.
Yep.
John's still in the comments, so hopefully he'll answer my question while we're chatting here.
Oh, great, John. So just to reiterate, we'd like to know from the consumer's perspective, when you go on a stock image site, what do you expect to see? What kind of quality of image you expect to see? I really wish that you had a chance to come in here, but we love it that you are still in the comment section and then can give us quality feed from there.
Help us help you. I've had to download tons of swirls, chocolate, cream. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Packaging designer.
Interesting.
So, yeah, and I think for those that are going directly who wants to be more into stock photos, what you need to look out is this, especially for Shutterstock, and I think all of them, they do it. What they do is from time to time, they publish a list of the images that are being requested the most, that they need the most on that site. So they'll tell you that images from this category are in high demand at this certain period of the year. And so if I'm let's say, doing a lot more stock photos, what I'll do is I'll take a look at that list and see the ones that I'm interested in that I can shoot a bunch of as quickly as possible, and just shoot those and upload. Right. The problem is that some of us, majority of us, we don't shoot for stock. We shoot, and then stock is part of like an extra afterthought, right? But then there were also photographers whose full business line is based on stocks. So when they are shooting, they have stock in mind, right? And if you're gonna grow and make more money out of stock photography, you have to be one of those. You have to shoot with stock photography in mind.
Yeah, yeah. Getty publishes a brief every month.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask one thing: if you are shooting stock, when it comes to brands in your frame, what are some of the things you do? Let's say, for instance, if you are focusing on portraits, what are some of the things that you have to focus on? Because I know, for instance, you can't have someone wearing a branded t-shirt or a branded shirt and stuff like that. And just to, before you guys answer that, John, thank you so much for your contribution. It's really appreciated on here. And please stick around because we really need your input from the consumer point.
Yeah, the unposed lifestyle comment is interesting.
Yeah, because I know.
What does that mean? What does that mean, unposed lifestyle?
So they want natural looking, like, you know,
basically in an office environment, you've got people going about their day naturally, and you've got pre-releases from all of them. So you're just spending the time capturing them going about their day the way they would normally do it.
Like walking down like a hallway or something.
Yep. Yeah. And especially it's like maybe just having the person out there. You're not setting up specifically for that. You just let them do whatever they're doing, and you're capturing natural shots of things that are going on.
Yeah, you're just there to document. Yeah,
a perfect example would be like walking into a restaurant kitchen or even the restaurant, and then as the people are serving and doing their thing, you're just taking shots as they go, right? Unposed, unplanned, natural in the flow of events. Those images tend to do pretty well.
I think I just found my next calling. Thanks, John.
Yeah, and just so you remember, if you are shooting portraits of people and stuff, you need to be aware of what they are wearing. You shouldn't have people wearing shirts with brands in there or some writings in there. Sneakers. That's why I think I wore the best T-shirt for today's presentation.
You're going in the stock tonight.
I wear my own brand.
Yeah, so don't dress someone like how Evans has
He's not
dressed.
A businessman. He's a businessman.
and a friend of mine actually does planned shoots just for stock images, and he makes a ton of money off there because he sells most of his stuff to South Africa-based companies. Because most of the African companies have their headquarters based in South Africa, because that's like the middle ground between Europe and then Africa. So he shoots content. He goes to offices on weekends. He either writes a letter to them asking for a space, or sometimes he's charged for it, and then has models who dress up, and then they actually shoot pictures of maybe conference meetings. They have pictures of people doing presentations, or, you know, a CEO kind of post and all of that. And it works because he has his content being sold every time. Because most of these huge corporate entities, they use these stock images for magazines. They use these stock for websites, for newsletters and stuff like that. And it actually works. And
I think one of the other things that sells as well on stock is just basic household products on plain backgrounds, right? A friend of mine was just saying he sometimes even take a dollar bill, put it on a white background, shoots that, and it sells a lot because those are like, you know, you give people the option to be able to quickly remove the background, put it up on anything they want on their site and stuff like that. And it becomes more valuable because they're not on a background where they can remove it. So household items on pure, you know, backgrounds or the same color backgrounds also helps, because then the person has the option to manipulate that image easily, however they want.
It's a good tip.
Can you shoot stock images for a particular client?
That wouldn't be stock then. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be stock. It might be stock for them, like to keep in sort of a stock, but
like an asset library, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But then
that won't be stock.
Then you've got a client brief and you know what they're looking for. So I don't know if you'd necessarily call it stock photography, but it would be stock to them.
Because I feel there is an opportunity there, marketing opportunity, where you can actually look at the guide, the brand identity guide of an entity, and then you try to shoot around that and then see how it goes.
Yeah. So I get where you're coming from. I've done that a lot in the past. These days I don't do much, but before I used to do that, and that's what I'm trying to do a lot more these days since we're home. I'm planning a couple of shoots around that. Basically, it's product shoots, right? But you're trying to market yourself to those companies. It's just like taking what we call it, a Nike shoe, right? And doing your own product shoot of that Nike shoe at home, posting it on social media and tagging Nike. Right, you're trying to show them what you can do. So that's there, but that I wouldn't say is stock. That's a market strategy, right? That you can use to penetrate certain markets.
That makes a ton of sense. So whilst we are discussing this, if you guys don't mind, Paul, Brian, or Brian, if you guys can just show us a bit of the stock images you have, because it's going to be difficult to just go online and then just show,
Okay, I can. I've actually got that.
Or you can just go to any of the sites and then just let's see how it goes. But it's interesting to me how stock photography works. It is. Like, let's say you have a shoot with a model, right? And then the model signs a client release. However, this model does not pick all the images. Can you sell the rest?
As long as you have a model release.
As long as you've got the release, yeah.
Nothing prevents you from selling it. But the whole idea is this: your model release has to take that into consideration, right? So when I write my model releases, basically what I'm saying is that I'm giving you the image for your personal use. I have the rights to the image. I can do whatever I want. I can sell it, do that, put all of that in the
that's all release form. Yeah,
right. So that way, you have the right to sell that image. I'll put it up on stock and just upload that model release you signed with you.
Also, make sure it's clear when you do that paperwork too, that it's open as to what the image can be used for, because sometimes someone's buying stock for something that maybe the person in the photo might not agree with, and they'll want to know ahead of time that it might be used for that, and maybe they might want to decline. So just make sure they know up front that this might show up on an ad for, say, a vaccine company that you don't like, for example. Because once it's on stock, you don't really have any control over who buys it. Your control.
Also, you can actually let them know which companies you don't want them to. Do they contact you when someone wants to buy your stock image?
They tell you that it's been sold.
They just tell you that it's been sold.
They don't tell you who.
Once you upload to a stock site, you lose control over who uses it at that point. You just get the money.
Yeah. Which I don't like, because I would like to know who actually bought it, because I'm curious sometimes.
Now, Getty gives you a breakdown as to who bought sometimes. So like the image on the screen was the one that the guy in Russia bought to sell prints of.
Makes sense.
So I made over $200 on that from one Getty sale.
Nice.
I love the pic too. I need that for a blog post, Brian, by the way.
So John is saying something, by the way. John is saying that he has to create a lot of organic baby food brand content. He has to shoot it himself because he can't find the appropriate. He's unable to find the appropriate images.
Message me on Instagram,
Well,
John.
you came to the right show.
I think that ties into the comment before that unbranded baby items might do well too. Baby bows,
huge.
utensils. Yeah.
Good tip, John. Baby
Stuff, John. Contact me on Instagram. We can talk.
Yeah.
Making deals.
And I think people have not really made use a lot of stock images at this point because one, the brands are unable to really contact photographers to do these shoots for them, considering the whole pandemic issue. But on the second hand, too, you'll be able to create some of these things at home. You just go to maybe the dollar store, pick a couple of things, shoot them up, and then put them right there.
Yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of money to make the shot.
Like, I mean, taking pictures of masks.
Yeah, of course. Should have done that a year ago, but yeah.
Yeah. These are all lost opportunities right there.
Lost opportunities.
Exactly.
Pay attention, right?
Yeah. I should have thought about stock images earlier. It's so strange.
Yeah.
So there's this image that I took a while ago. And I think I was with Paul at Graffiti Alley of the 2020, the guy riding the bicycle down 2020. I uploaded that for free on Pexels, I think only about 2 or 3 months ago. And that image already got about 2,000 downloads.
Wow.
2,000?
Yeah.
Put it up. Let's see it.
It's a good photo, man.
Let's see it.
Where we go? Let me share this.
Yours for only $19.99.
This was just, I think I put it up just before the end of the year with the 2020
Love it.
sign in here. This was just, I think,
oh, so good.
we were just walking past. I saw the guy scrolling the bicycle down, going there to the 2020 sign. So I just took a shot of it, uploaded it there for free because it's Pexels.
I love it.
Right.
That's awesome.
But the thing is this, so the other one I have here, this one here, this is Pixabay, right? So Pixabay for now, if someone comes in and likes your image, as you can see here, even though you upload the images for free, the person can choose to get you coffee, right? And make a donation through PayPal. That comes straight to your PayPal account. So even though the stock sites, that the paid sites are there, I think sometimes the free sites as well may make you some money, because this site, for example, the approval is based on user experience. So when you upload a picture, for the first 3 days, they just put it in the pool and show it randomly to some of the users in there, and the users are going to rank that image. So after that 3-day period, based on how much ranking and likes that the users are giving it, it gets approved or it gets declined.
Wow.
Right. So over here, I don't know. I don't think I have too much here, but I just have a few random images that I just put up there.
Oh, nice edit too.
Yeah, this was a while back. I think Brian, this is the place we went to do the drone video.
For the drone,
yeah.
The fork in the road or something.
Fork of the credits.
I can never remember the name.
Right. So I mean, this one was from Niagara Falls. Making money out of it is okay. Oh, this one here. This is from years ago when I first started. I was learning to light at home, right? So I remember I was telling you guys that when I was learning to light, I bought a mannequin head. So this was my first practice mannequin head, but I decided to upload it anyway, and it got approved. A lot of people. This one actually got approved on Shutterstock as well for some reason.
Nice.
But all I did was put a soft box behind the mannequin, right? And I just backlit the mannequin head. It was a practice shoot,
images,
but
some of your images can pass for fine art.
Maybe
You should talk to Bryan.
but some of them it's just practice, right? These are some of these shots I just take as well. Most of the stuff you see here is landscape stuff, which is not my real strength. But whenever I go out with Paul and Bryan as well, and wherever we're together, we are shooting landscape stuff. I shoot landscapes. If we get out and we do street stuff, I shoot street stuff, right? And some of them, because they're not my genre of weddings and events and portraits, I put them up on some of these sites, and they work out well as well.
Yeah, why not? Try everything. Love it.
Those are great.
Right.
So let's see. Ooh,
Moody.
That's my biggest seller ever.
Nice. Damn.
And the
Where'd you shoot that from?
ad agency
That's downtown Brampton.
Brampton, actually.
We're in a parking garage roof?
No, that's a drone shot.
Yeah.
That's back when you could actually fly in that area.
Yes.
Can't anymore. But
No.
But yeah, that photo has been my best.
Beauty. I love the sky.
Love it.
It's a nice edit too.
Thanks. Yeah, not heavy on the edit, but
I need to start shooting some stuff for myself too.
this is back before sky replacement software existed. So
Luminar is going to be our sponsor next week, by the way.
there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Luminar, Flickr, they're all going to be there.
They're lining up. They're actually in the chat. I think John's actually from Luminar. Aren't you, John? You're a mole.
I feel like he's hiding his identity.
Yeah. It's okay. Bryan will figure it out.
But it's been interesting. One thing that I just want us to talk about this before we look at something else is, when we are doing this, do we put our emails and phone numbers in the metadata?
When you upload a stock?
Yeah. So is it embedded in the metadata of the picture?
I don't know if the stock agencies strip the metadata or not.
Yeah, they don't show it. I have it in all mine, because in Lightroom, I have created that preset of my metadata stuff. So I have my business name, I have my name, email, all embedded in all my images. But when you look at the EXIF data on some of these sites, they don't show all of that, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If I show this one here, let me share my screen quickly. You see that they pulled out whatever they want, but they don't show all the rest. So they just pull out the lens, they pull out the megapixels, they pull out the resolution, the camera, and even Adobe Lightroom on a Macintosh, right? The dates and stuff, but they don't show you all the rest of the actual stuff that you want to see.
But then when someone buys a picture and downloads it, is it still there or is stripped totally?
You know what? I gotta try that. I gotta try to download.
We should try that.
I gotta try to download some
site?
of my images and take a look and see if it's still in there.
I mean, on Pexels, it's still there because you've had 2,000 downloads, so that means people have.
Because that would be interesting.
That's a download. But I'm curious to see if that metadata after the download still includes my IG and my contact.
Because
details.
I mean, if someone keeps buying stock images from you and then they're able to see that information, they can just bypass the middle ground and then come directly.
Come directly to you.
Yeah. Maybe that's what John needs right now.
Let us know what you need, John. We're here to serve.
Like I said, contact me. We'll figure something out. If you need baby stuff, I'll do it.
Make babies.
Yep.
Here we go.
Baby business is good business, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's two kind of businesses you never fail at: baby business and food business.
So, like this is more like a passive income, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
going to
I don't shoot directly for stock anymore. So I did for a
Yeah.
short time, but it
I
wasn't
think
for
I
me.
might. I
It
don't know.
wasn't for me, but
I think that now that a lot of people have a lot of times at their home, on their hands, especially if you're in lockdown, if you can set up a basic small shoot, plain white backgrounds, and just specifically shoot for stock, you should do it, right? Um, I mean, most of my stock stuff, like I said, was at the beginning when I was learning to, especially for Shutterstock. All the stuff I loaded up to Shutterstock is over 3, 4, 5 years old. That's when I was, maybe I'm learning, practicing how to light or something, and I take a shot and I feel like, okay, this is cool. I'll put it out there just to get some feedback. But if you dedicated time to shoot specifically for that and edit for stock, you're gonna end up making some good money out of it.
Yeah.
you can definitely make money at it. But just like anything, you have to put in the time and you have to put in the work.
Yep.
Yep. No shortcuts.
Oh no.
That's really interesting. Like I've learned so much today. It's so interesting. Like, but Brian, let me ask you a quick question, Brian James.
Mhm.
What is the difference between what the stock sites do and then what the fine arts galleries do, the online ones?
I don't know if I'm super familiar with that because for me, like I sell prints on a couple different sites. Like Fine Art America is one of them. But those photos, people, they can either take the digital download or they can print it, but they don't have the rights to reuse that photo. So I believe that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's the difference between a stock site, because they're not actually purchasing the license; they're just purchasing the photograph itself. So
For personal use, yeah.
Correct. That's
That
the
makes
biggest
sense.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. I don't know why I asked it, but I think I'm
No, it's
lucky to
an
ask
important
it.
distinction to make.
Yeah.
my photos do better for me because I do have a stylized approach, and my photos are highly edited. That I do 10 times more. I'd make maybe 100 times more money on fine art sites and selling prints than I do on stock. But that's just, I think, because of my style. But yeah, I recommend it. And I think Fine Art America is free. There's a few websites that are free. If you're not selling too many prints, they're free.
Yeah.
So that's
So
another.
you retain all the rights to your image, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Important.
But I know some of
And
the
I think
stock
there's
sites, right? Some of the stock sites, Evans, you are able to retain some of your rights, and then
But you
can
still retain
sell.
copyright.
yeah, you still maintain a fair amount of the rights to the image. It's only going to be like some of the stuff that you're going to lose is the fact that some of them won't allow you to upload to another site, another stock photography site. But they don't own the image. At the end of the day, you still own that full right to that image, right? Except that they will tell you if you're uploading to our site, you can upload to another stock site, or you can sell it privately, stuff like that. But you still own that image.
Yeah. And I can say from Getty, when you first sign up with them, you find out that if someone does want to purchase the rights outright to one of your photos, they will help you negotiate that sale. Probably because they want to be the facilitator and take a cut out of it, but you can sell the rights to the photo outright if you want. It's usually a half decent number though, if you're selling all the rights.
Better be.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
I
really love this stuff. I do.
I was going to say there is other services that you can use that are not stock, but I think, what is it? Is it I forgot the name of those, the most popular one. But what they do is they are selling your images and they give you the access to be able to embed their site also on your own personal site. And so instead of uploading to stock, it's like you're selling them privately, right? But they charge you to host those images and open up that market to you as well. I can't remember. Is this Shoot Proof? Yeah, the one of them is Shoot Proof.
Okay.
Shoot Proof, they offer two different types of services. You can use Shoot Proof as maybe let's say a wedding photographer. At the end of the wedding, you upload there. Your client is gonna go in there and select whichever ones they want and mark them right on the site, right? But after the wedding, you can also upload to Shoot Proof and create an album specifically for that client, and the client can share with members of the family members or guests, and the guests can go to the website, Shootproof website, or even link it to your website, and they purchase those images directly from there. Right? Because so if I remember, I've told you guys about a while back, I used to do this instant print thing where at a wedding, I set up a second photographer whose main job is to just walk around, capture the guests in the moment of the time, or even have a small like backdrop set up where the people will come in, he takes photos and reprint it for them on the spot and charge a fee outside of whatever the wedding agreement was. Now, some way I used to use Shoot Proof for something similar like that. So at the end of an event, this Christmas I couldn't, but usually on Christmas times I have church Christmas banquets, companies doing Christmas banquets and stuff like that. At the end of that event, I upload that image to Shoot Proof, right? Send a link to the company. People will go there, purchase that images right there. They are buying the image directly to a certain extent, except that I gotta pay maybe $20 a month or so for Shoot Proof to host all that images and do the credit card payments in the background and stuff like that.
Wow. Nice. Seamless.
So let me just reset the room real quick. If you are in the audience, you just tell us who you are, where you are listening from, so that we can appreciate you for being here. The panel, as you know, this is Open Shutter Live. We have on the panel, we have Evans, we have Paul, we have Bryan James, and then we have Bryan. I'll allow him to say the rest. Yeah, and it's fantastic. We're talking about stock photography. We're talking about how to sell stock photos or stock images online. Some of the things that you have to look at, some of the requirements, we've spoken about it, some of the revenue streams, and then how you can get your images on there, and some of the feedback they can give you if your image is rejected, so that you can upgrade yourself on the things that you do. This is fun, and we are about to round up because I wish we could be here all night. We are about to round up, and we have John Michael Arella in the audience giving us some of the juicy tips. We've had
John just posted his Instagram.
Yeah, we've had Gilbert connecting with us all the way from Ghana, and John connecting with us from New York City. Crazy. This is fun. This is interesting. You guys are awesome. And we have all these panelists up there connecting from Canada. I am in California, US. So it's like an international thing. And that is exactly what stock photography is.
The United Nations of photography.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's so interesting. So right now, what I'm going to do is, before I showcase what John is saying, I would like the panelists up here to go through and they just give us a summary of what they think can be done to get more money whilst we are in the pandemic. I mean,
more money. Chaos.
Let me make the question quite easier for them so that their minds don't run all wild. What are some of the areas of stock photography you think you can do during the pandemic?
Oh, yeah. Good question.
Yeah, I would say that if you're looking to get into stock photography right away, the easiest thing, especially during the pandemic, because we're all on lockdown, we're home, start off with household products, right? All the household products around you, universal stuff, that you can shoot quickly and put it out there. Those would be good.
Yeah, and it's easy. You don't need to spend any money.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I think John mentioned in the comments about, like he said, for example, baby, non-branded, baby bottles and spoons and things like that do well. And because he said, and that's specific to him maybe, but But yeah, anything around the house, like I said, even if anything, it's practice and it doesn't cost you anything. But I would say also like the lifestyle shots do well. I know that might be difficult now in the pandemic, but if even if you have family members or friends and you're 6 feet away and you can take the mask off and take shots like that, I think that would do well. And also I think especially with product shots, you want them to be obviously in focus, but you want them to be bright and colorful, not overly saturated. And those are just some of the things I know that have gotten kickback for me. So, and candid, not posed. I think that was mentioned earlier as well. Nobody wants a shot of like, you know what I mean?
I do.
It's just me drinking. You might, yeah. I'll send it to you.
I need it for a blog post, actually. So, yeah, no, it's
me. I've done well with wildlife stuff as well. I know not too many guys on the panel here shoot wildlife ever, but I've done well with wildlife stuff.
And it could be just like squirrels in a ravine, no?
Can be squirrels. Can be various other things. I've got lots of birds of prey.
Birds, yeah.
Images like that one.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So nice that one's worked well for me.
That is not unposed. That is posing for you. Like no one's
exactly. You need a model release for that.
That was 3 hours of laying in the mud in Algonquin Park.
Oh, geez. Wow. How much did you pay?
So, it was worth it, though.
Yeah, no kidding. Did it do its own makeup, too? Oh, man, that's classic.
Yeah, no, wildlife can do well as well. You just have to get stuff.
Yeah.
More intimate kind of shots.
Yeah.
They take time.
They do. They do. I think, yeah. I mean, with like stock, like Mr. Bryan James said, like it's just a great way to practice photography in general. Like when we're at home, you just like practice like rule of thirds and leading lines and shadows and then maybe you do upload it to stock and maybe you don't, but it's just a good way to get your mind like thinking photography because it's so easy not to do it. It's so easy just not to pick up the camera. So you need to find a reason to pick up the camera, and maybe that is stuck, and maybe you do shoot your coffee cup for like an hour. I've done that last weekend. That's why I said that.
It's interesting. I mean, you guys have said everything. There's nothing for me to say. All I have to say is that I have to go out there and shoot, and then see how best that I can get this on. As you guys who are listening to us, this is Open Shutter Live. It goes on every Wednesday, 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time, and 12:30 GMT. These guys here are fantastic guys who are always here showing or spreading knowledge. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can just go into the description. I have their YouTube channels there. Just show some love. Their IG channels are also there. Go on there, see the fantastic work they are doing. They are all photographers. They are all content creators in a way. I am really, really happy that you guys have been here to show some love. If you want to hear or if you want us to discuss anything in particular on Open Shutter Live, you can always get in the description box and then you put in there what you want us to talk about, ways that we can all improve. It's not just limited to photographers. It can be models, content creators, consumers of photography services. Just let us know what we talk about. We can have special people. If you want to be on here, you can always let us know. It's been fun, guys. I really wish we could be here all night or dawn in some parts of the world. But unfortunately, we need to allow some people to go take some rest. And I'm just going to give a quick shout out to John right here. Who
everyone go follow him because John Michael.
Who put his IG on there is John Michael _NYC. You guys can check him out. You can hit him up if you have some content that you think will be useful to him. And John, if you need any photography tips whatsoever, the content these guys create just goes in depth in how you can improve your photography so that maybe you can start creating stock images for other people to buy. Thank you guys so much for being on here. I really appreciate it. It's your boy Kobby Katalist right here.
It's your boy.
Thank you guys.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good night, guys.
Subscribe, like, comment.
Subscribe, like, comment. Yeah, do all the needful stuff. Peace.